Former Enugu State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Kingsley Ude confirmed as Minister by Senate. At stakeholders engagement, Vice President Kashim Shettima says securing the nation is a shared responsibility for all Nigerians. Federal government hands over Gari irrigation scheme to farmers, aims to boost agricultural productivity. Hello and many thanks for joining us on the news desk at 3 on NTA News24, live from Abuja. I am Vivian Ezadifi. Nigeria has positioned itself as West Africa's climate action leader following its submission of the region's first third national determined contribution, NDC 3.0, to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Director General of Nigeria's National Council on Climate Change, Tenio Majo Kudumi, disclosed this during the ongoing 30th Conference of the Parties of the UNFCCC COP30 in Belém, Brazil, in an interview ahead of the summit's opening ceremony. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Belém, the capital state of Para in the North Brazil, is a port city and gateway to Brazil's lower Amazon region. And this is where leaders across nations are meeting, with Nigeria participating on the UN Climate Change 30th session to discuss on 3 key mandated reports that shed light on where progress is happening and where more acceleration is still needed. And Vice President Kashim Shettima prepares to unveil Nigeria's green transition roadmap to the world leaders, positioning the country to turn its climate commitment into concrete investment opportunities and projects.
Submission of our NDC 3.0, and we being the first West African country to submit. And this is, it's a turning point for Nigeria. And one of the main things we're hoping to take away is to turn all these deliverables in our NDC 3.0 into pipeline projects, partnerships, and pay for performance. Because we need to start turning this paper from paper to projects. And COP30 is where Nigeria will be doing this.
It's about Mr. President's commitment to the 2016 Paris Accord, which Nigeria is signatory to. And of course, ensuring that, Article 13 of that particular accord, which talks about climate change, is duly pursued and of course being implemented later. So here in Belém, Mr. Vice President will definitely be taking to the later and speaking to the spirit and body of Nigeria's intent. And talking about nationally determined contributions has always been pursued. We look forward to reducing our climate emissions in 2030 by 35%. And of course, we are targeting zero emissions by 2060.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is billed to join other world leaders, development partners, and business executives at the opening ceremony of COP30, themed Climate Action and Implementation, with a strong focus on adaptation, forest, biodiversity, and climate justice, expected to present Nigeria's climate action address. From Belém in Brazil, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
The Nigerian Senate has confirmed the appointment of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu, SAN, from Enugu State as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Ude was appointed this week by President Bola Tinubu following the resignation of Uche Naji, the immediate past Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. Until his nomination as Minister, Dr. Ude was the Enugu State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice.
And I hope he will bring his wealth of experience to add to the federal cabinet, to add value, and then realize the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
Meanwhile, Senate has asked the National Agency for Foods and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, not to extend the grace period with regards to the ban on the packaging of high-strength alcoholic in sachet beyond December 2025. A high-level stakeholders engagement on regional development and security is underway at the National Counter-Terrorism Center Office of the National Security Advisor in Abuja. The forum aims to promote equitable and sustainable development across Nigeria while enhancing national security. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that Vice President Kashim Shettima, in a message to the gathering, urged Nigerians to view ongoing efforts to further secure the nation as a shared responsibility.
Regional diversity.
Local and foreign development partners converge to strengthen institutional synergy and improve policy alignment with a focus on fostering better coordination and coherence among regional development commissions.
Let's look way for financing differently. Let's look also way for measuring progress, because progress matters. Let's put inclusion as a first step.
The forum also aims to develop integrated frameworks that leverage on regional comparative advantages to drive inclusive and balanced development across all regions.
The unique nature of our security challenge is such that when it happens, there's no discrimination. It happens all across the country, more so in some parts than in others. So that's why there was a need to call for understanding, to call for measured communication.
Equitable development is nothing anybody can doubt. It's also very good in order to promote a harmonious living and understanding.
So we're looking at partnering with the Ministry of Regional Development to ensure that development reaches all the region. We believe that with this development, it will keep our youths engaged. It will prevent radicalization and violent extremism.
I want to use this platform to thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for finding wisdom to create these development commissions. We believe it is going to drive development throughout the nooks and crannies of this country.
The high-level stakeholders engagement is focused on ensuring balanced and sustainable development to promote unity and security. From the National Counter-Terrorism Center here in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And to agriculture now, the federal government has officially handed over the Gari irrigation scheme to the water users to ensure the sustainability and efficient management of the project. Yahanusa Hassan Barrow reports that the handover aligns with the renewed hope agenda of the present administration, which seeks to increase the number of farmers and enhance agricultural productivity by ensuring easy access to water across irrigation schemes.
For years, farmers in Gari have relied on this irrigation scheme to bring life to their farmlands, but today marks a new chapter as the federal government officially hands over the Gari irrigation scheme to the Water Users Association. The move is part of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration, aimed at empowering local communities, promoting food security, and ensuring the sustainability of major irrigation projects across the country. For farmers like Haladu, this handover represents more than just a policy change. It is a promise of independence and improved harvest.
Are ready to take care of the scheme.
The Water Users Association, now in charge of the scheme, will oversee water distribution, maintenance of secondary and tertiary canals, and financial contributions from farmers, ensuring the system remains functionally around.
Now the farmers are the ones fighting, defending their property.
We want to extend it to all public irrigation in Nigeria, so that government will not continue to fund project after project without having the benefits.
When farmers are given the chance and opportunity to take care of their projects, there are supposed to be sustainability.
With access to reliable irrigation, more farmers are expected to join the scheme, expanding cultivation and supporting government's drive for agricultural self-sufficiency. In Kano, Yahanusa Hassan Barrow, NTA News.
While in politics, the All Progressives Congress, APC, has commenced the process of amending its constitution. Aliu Tijani reports that stakeholders of the party met in Lafia, Nasarawa State, for the North Central public hearing.
From all states across the North Central Zone, stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress, APC, are in Lafia to make inputs as the party amends its constitution to be in tune with current realities. National Chairman of APC, Professor Nantawe Yewada, represented by the Deputy National Secretary of the party, Professor Abdul Karim Kana, says the public hearing is to ensure every member of the party has his voice in the amended constitution.
The idea is to receive submissions and memorandum from different members of the party from this geopolitical zone for the purpose of inclusion in the amendment process that is going on.
Governor Abdullah Hisle urges participants to use the opportunity of the public hearing and submit memorandum that will provide the needed input in the APC, which will be looked into by the committee. He commends President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for instituting a committee that will look into the amendment of the constitution of the APC, as he emphasizes that the measure is apt due to the continued influx of new members into the party.
And I want our stakeholders in particular to use the opportunity to submit as many memorandum for this amendment as possible. And we will sit down later on as members of this committee, review the memorandum and accommodate them.
Earlier, the team, including former national chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, pays a courtesy call on Governor Abdullah Hisle, and his counterpart of Yobe and Borno states are members of the APC Constitution Amendment Committee in Lafia. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Still talking politics, as the PDP grapples with its internal challenges, stakeholders are enjoined to explore solutions. On NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, political analysts suggest that the leadership of the PDP should approach the Independent National Electoral Commission for possible advisory intervention. Kemini Williams monitored the discussion and now reports.
The PDP's internal wrangling, from factional leadership struggles to state-level disputes, has raised serious concerns about its capacity to hold a credible national convention. With crisis in 14 state chapters, uncertainty looms over who qualifies to represent these states as delegates. Existing court injunctions and conflicting judicial pronouncements have further complicated the process, casting doubt on whether it would be prudent for the party to proceed under such legal tension. Stakeholders have therefore called for caution, urging the party leadership to first resolve all pending legal and internal issues before convening.
Weeks ago. So if you look at the laws are clear, unambiguous. But so long as this principle of strict adherence to party inclinations to the detriment of extant laws, the larger society, the constitution that we have sworn to uphold, continue to hold sway, we're going to be in this problem.
Fundamentally, there's a conflict of value, more than even a conflict of interest among these actors. And that's why I don't see the PDP reconciling these very powerful parties before the 2027 election. What can happen is, because as Jide said, the power bloc are supposed to be the governors, and you have seen substantial number of them moving to the APC. So whatever governor is left within the PDP would control the PDP in his or her state.
The PDP's multiple court cases have created a web of confusion, with some decisions overlapping and others contradicting. Analysts say these underscores the need for the judiciary to maintain neutrality and ensure rulings are based solely on law, not politics. Many, however, believe the best path forward lies not in the courtroom, but around the negotiation table through reconciliation and internal reform.
This may be beginning of the end of PDP, but in as far as it has not, at some point they will even want to merge. Mm-hmm. They were even open to merger with other parties. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is a time to have that rethink
ab initio for the better part of this year. There was even the whole argument whether PDP was going to join ADC or join Labour Party and all of that. So all options are on the table. They can reinvent themselves, but they need to strip themselves of this ego.
As the party navigates one of its most testing periods, experts agree that genuine dialogue, compromise and respect for due process may be the only way to PDP to reclaim internal stability and public confidence. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Ahead of the governorship polls in Anambra State, INEC has commenced the distribution of sensitive materials to the 21 local government areas of the state. Let's now join Daniel Ubai, who is standing by at the Central Bank of Nigeria, where the movement is taking place. Preparations towards the upcoming election. Can you hear me? Bring us up to speed towards the preparation of the forthcoming election in Anambra State. Please talk to us. What are your gatherings at the pool with the movement of the sensitive materials?
Okay. The 12th process out of the 13 processes involved in election, and that is the distribution of sensitive material to the RAC, the registration area centers, where it will be forwarded to the polling units on Saturday ahead of the governorship election. Before now, the electoral officers at this Central Bank of Nigeria in Awka have briefed all the political party representatives who are here to certify these sensitive materials. And these sensitive materials include the Form EC8A and Form EC8B and the BVA, that is the ballot papers, the ballot, the result sheets, and the BVAs. These are some of the issues where the resident electoral commissioner have said that INEC is fully prepared, and these are some of the issues that they have raised. Before now, we also had the commissioner of police in charge of, who is in charge of this election, Abayomi Shogole. He spoke to the people of Anambra State concerning the number of men who have been deployed for this election. About 45,000 men have been deployed to ensure that there is security before, during, and after the election. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Concerning the number of people who have been deployed and your men, what is your advice to the people out there who may feel that, the presence of personnel during this election?
Okay, just to add to that, we've scaled up the numbers of security personnel that is being deployed for this election, and the number has been scaled up to over 50,000. That's jointly including the Nigerian Police Force, the military, the DSS, the NSCDC, the Nigerian Customs Service,
Since we are having some technical challenges there. Now we'll take a break. We'll bring you more reports after the timeouts.
Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections, classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million in and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year. This is NTA News24.
Welcome back. The capital city is buzzing with an influx of Nigerians' rich heritage on display as the federal government, in partnership with Labode Heritage, revolutionizes Africa's fashion industry. They're about to unveil the first ever Confederation of African Fashion Charter, promising a staggering 500 billion economic expansion by 2030. We now join our creative economy correspondent, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, for more details.
It's a new dawn for the fashion industry as the federal government has adopted the Afro-Leganza vision to reposition and unite African countries through fashion, culture, creative enterprise. This adoption signals a national commitment to place culture, fashion, heritage, and the creative economy at the heart of the world. And I'm being joined by the convener of this vision, Afro-Leganza, as he speaks and tells us more about what this portends for Nigeria's economy. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, can you tell us what this MOU portends for Nigeria as a country, speaking, in economic terms?
Okay, thank you very much. The African fashion economy, as we know, is between $35 and $60 billion. Nigeria has taken leadership to help Africa go to the very next level. And so the vision is to move it from a $60 billion economy to about $500 billion. And that required the establishment of a new institution called the Confederation of African Fashion, of which I'm the new president. The Confederation, of course, the protocols and policies for all of Africa will be done at that level. So the first job of the minister and, of course, the Labode Heritage Foundation and us now is to ensure that all African countries are able to sign up into the charter. The process has begun, because are already coming in. Africa needs to go to the very next level when it comes to fashion.
That's it, and thank you very much for joining us here. I am Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi.
That's a nice one. This is the News Desk at 3 on NTA News24. Here is a recap of our top stories. President Tinubu asked National Assembly to approve over 1 trillion naira to fund budget deficit. Nigeria secures hosting rights for first ever UNESCO Media Literacy Institute, pledges to sensitize media ecosystem. And from major opposition party, 2 chairmen make conflicting declarations on fate of PDP National Convention.
This is NTA News24.
Celebrating people for their outstanding contributions while they are still alive not only inspires them to do more, but also motivates others to follow their footsteps. This message resonated strongly at the Pan-African Psychology Union's inaugural lecture held in honor of Professor Stephen Cooper, a man many described as a psychological guru and trailblazer in African psychology. Thomas Obutere reports.
The inaugural lecture, part of PUPA Higher Education Conference, has united scholars and practitioners from across Africa to honor Professor Stephen Cooper, founding president of the Pan-African Psychology Union. He was praised as a committed and visionary leader who transformed psychology in Africa.
Everything that people do counts, and that it gets to a point where people will have to play back, and it's always good to have a very good playback.
Most of the time, people are given their flowers when they're dead, but today we are celebrating them when we're here with us.
We appreciate the founder of PAPU, which Zamani is honoring him today.
He's visionary, so that has actually inspired a lot in my heart.
This is somebody that understands what it is to work for humanity.
Professor Cooper urged Africans, especially psychologists, to make lasting impact in their roles and stressed purpose, passion, and professionalism as keys to African human development.
Now it's up to people in Nigeria, it's up to the policymakers to accord Nigerian psychology the status it deserves, not to be cowed in terms of where psychology can play a role.
The event also recognized and honored many other distinguished psychologists from Nigeria and across the continent for their positive contribution to the discipline. As awards were presented and tribute shared, the celebration stood not just as a recognition of Professor Cooper's legacy, but also as a call to action for the next generation of African scholars to continue his work. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
That concludes the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Vivian Izarifi. I'll see you again at 6 for more reports.
Never stops. So here we go with the flurry of exciting activities across